This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
A very good evening. I'm Divya, bringing you all the top stories this Sunday evening. Adding to the heat wave raging in Chennai, our city has seen 3 places go up in flames in just 8 days. A major fire broke out in Cholinganallur today, bringing down more than 100 huts and taking a young man's life. Our crime reporter Salim joins me more for details on this. But before that, the headlines now. Election Commission asks authorities to ensure counting halls are ready soon. Postal ballots will be counted first and EVM counting will begin 30 minutes later.
To be done till this point of time has been done, but a lot of things is the last month, a lot of 3-4 days are there, the arrangements are being done. But generally we are on line, whatever as per the program, what was to be in line, we are in line of that.
Election Commission urges police officials to ensure the charge sheets in election-related cases are filed at least 24 hours before counting begins.
Now we are trying, asking the SPs to try to file as many cases as possible by 12th.
About 100 huts are gutted in Cholinganallur. 1 person found dead. This is the 3rd major fire in Chennai in just a week. The heat wave gets worse in Chennai, a sizzling 42 degrees Celsius today. So what is the best way to beat the heat?
Really avoid going in the sun from 12 to 6.
Class 12 students are luckier than politicians to get their results tomorrow. How are they fighting anxiety? Sneha opens helpline centers for counselling. And on a day dedicated to all Mama Dears, a popular sweet confectioner in Chennai salutes the mothers who shape some of our city's well-known faces. And let's also bring you the news making national headlines. US releases videos found by Navy in Osama's house in Abbottabad, the Al-Qaeda leader watching himself on TV. Reports say US has set up a special task force to follow emerging leads from the rich intelligence haul from the Abbottabad house. Fresh US cables reveal that Al-Qaeda man and Gitmo told the US in 2002 that ISI allowed militants to go to India to carry out attacks on targets chosen by Pakistan Army. Farmers' anger over land acquisition spreads to Agra. Heavy deployment in the area. YSR family split down the middle. Kadapa sees a pitched battle between the Congress and Jagan Reddy. YSR's wife takes on his brother. Disappointment for India as Super Saina loses the Malaysian Open to Chinese Wan Singh. And Shah Rukh Khan speaks on his evil role in Don 2. Well, our top story, a major fire broke out in Cholinganallur today. Around 100 huts were gutted and recovery works were on for many hours. The cemetery police say a 22-year-old van driver succumbed to his injuries. The fire started at around 2:30 this noon, and it is said that the firefighters fought for many hours to douse the fire completely. More than 5 fire tenders were pressed into service. This is the second fire that has broken out in Cholinganallur. Earlier on April 21st, a fire had broken out in the Avan milk booth there.
+2 முடிச்சிட்டு எக்ஸாம் ரிசல்ட்டுக்காக வெயிட் பண்ணியிருந்தேன். என்னோட ஃபார்ம்லாம் வாங்கி காலேஜில் அப்ளிகேஷன் ஃபில்அப் பண்ணிலாம் வச்சுருந்தேன். எல்லாமே எரிஞ்சிருச்சு. என்னோட புக்ஸ் எல்லாமே எரிஞ்சிருச்சு.
எல்லாரும் வேலைக்கு போயிட்டோம். புள்ள ஒரு சாமான் எடுக்க முடியல. புள்ள எரிஞ்சு போச்சு. உடுத்த துணியோட நிற்கிறோம்.
எங்கள் தம்பி கல்யாணத்துக்காக 3 சவரம் வச்சுருந்தோம்ப்பா. கையில் பணம் வச்சுருந்தோம். அதெல்லாமே எரிஞ்சிச்சு போயிடுச்சுப்பா. ரேஷன் கார்டு, ஐடி கார்டு எல்லாம் போயிடுச்சு. துணிமணி கட்டிக்கிறதுக்கு துணிமணி இல்லை. சாப்பாடு ஆகி சாப்பிட்றதுக்கு கூட ஒரு சாமான் கூட இல்லை. எல்லாம் எரிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு.
Remember, this is the 3rd major fire that has broken out in Chennai in just a week. A major fire broke out yesterday afternoon at Nolambur, and according to the local police, the fire raged on for more than an hour, destroying over 170 huts in the accident. As the cause of the fire remains unknown, the incident is under investigation by the Department of Fire and Rescue Services. Ambattur's Tahsildar has said that they will provide the relief measures by the government and arrange for food and accommodation as well. As of now, 2,000 rupees has been given to the residents of each hut. And on May 1st, about 23 huts were burnt to ashes in a sudden fire that broke out at around 1:30 in the afternoon in Patinapakam. Several LPG cylinders exploded while bikes and cycles were gutted in the fire accident. The homeless victims have demanded that the government provide alternate houses and compensation for the loss of materials. The cause of the fire has still not been ascertained there as well. For more on this, our crime reporter Salim now joins us live from the newsroom. Well, Salim, many people left homeless in just a few minutes after the fire broke out. The nature of the incident has been the same over the past few weeks as well, and no cause really has been ascertained, and neither has there been any precaution taken.
Yeah, Divya, the police urge the public to be very careful, very cautious in order to prevent any fire accident. They also say that summer season is a difficult time for them, but they are on their toes 24/7. As far as the Sholinganallur case is concerned, the police have confirmed that 22-year-old Ganesan, a van driver, was drunk when the fire broke out at around 2:30 and he succumbed to his burn injuries. Now, the Semanjari police have registered a case and are investigating. They have sent the body to a government hospital for a postmortem examination. Secondly, the fire department. Officials from the fire department very clearly say that the fire broke out at around 2:30 and the firefighting was on for almost 2 hours. Now the cooling process is on to put off any minor fire. And the fire department also say that the cause of fire is unknown yet. They are conducting examinations at the scene of crime, and the loss of property is yet to be ascertained. Divya?
Right, Selena, most of these residents are daily wage workers, so what kind of compensation are they likely to get?
In fact, the victims have demanded compensation from the government, but the authorities now say that they are taking stock of the situation and they are taking the details from the people. Say, for example, how many victims are there, how many families have been put up there, and according to the police statistics, they say that there are 86 huts have been gutted, and now the police are taking notes on how many people are exactly living there. Then after this process is complete, the government is likely to provide compensation for them, but we have to wait and watch whether the government is providing compensation for the victims at the incident.
Right, Salim. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with all those details. Now, reports suggest that these huts could have possibly caught on fire due to the heat wave in Chennai. The summer heat is becoming unbearable in Tamil Nadu, and staying at home doesn't help many either, as they complain of the 1-hour power cut every day. The regional Met Department says that today the maximum temperature was recorded at 42.4 degrees Celsius in Chennai. Reports suggest that Chennai and its surrounding areas are likely to see the temperature climb even further up over the next few days.
Due to global warming, we are facing the music, and we are doing a lot of nonsense against nature. That is also one of the main reasons we are facing the excess heat. In future, every year, the condition of the weather will be, heat will be increased.
This year especially it has been very severe, and for senior people like me to walk in this heat is quite difficult. And just because there is some breeze here, that's why we come here, and we come here early.
கிண்டிலேருந்து வரேன் சார். ரொம்ப வெயில் ஓவராக இருக்குது, ஒன்றும் தாங்க முடியல. எப்படி தான் போகுது, எப்படி தான் பிழைக்கிறதுன்னு ஒன்றும் தெரியல சார். ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது.
நேற்று ரொம்ப வெயில் ஜாஸ்தியாக இருந்தது. இன்றைக்கி வந்து சாட்டர்டே சண்டேனால பொதுவாக எல்னி நல்லா ஓடும். வெயில் ஜாஸ்தின்றதுனால எல்னி ரொம்ப நல்லா ஓடி இருக்குன்னு. சனி ஞாயிறு எப்பயுமே நல்லா ஓடும் எல்நீர். ஐயோ ரொம்ப ஹெவியாக இருக்குது, உடம்பு ஃபுல்லாக எரியுது. இப்போ நானாக ரெகுலராக வெளியிலேயே இருக்கிறது எனக்கே இப்படி எரியுதுன்னா, ஏசிலே இருந்துட்டு திடீர்னு வெளியில் வராங்கன்னா அவங்களுக்குலாம் சான்ஸே இல்லை. ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் அவங்களுக்குலாம்.
நல்லா அடிக்குது, வியாபாரம் நல்லா நடக்குது. நேற்றுலாம் வெயில், நல்ல வெயில், நல்ல வியாபாரம் ஆகும்.
நேற்று நல்லா வெயில்னா, வெயில் இதுமாரி நல்லா வெயில் காயத்தினால ஜூஸ் வியாபாரம் நல்லா போடுது. ஒரு கடைக்கு 2 கடைக்காக கூட போடுறோம். போட்டு இப்போ கூட தள்ளிட்டு போகிறேன். கத்திரி வெயில் ரொம்ப மோசமாக பயங்கரமாக அடிக்குது சூடு. நாங்களே பயங்கரமாக வெயில் காஞ்சின்னு நிலையில் நித்தினியாக இருக்கோம்.
And the pediatric surgeon Dr. K. Mohan Kumar spoke to Ndtv-Hindu. He gives us simple tips to beat the heat.
You have to drink lot of water. You will get dehydrated in summer. So you always have to keep drinking water, juices. But one thing, safe water, safe juices. For example, if you go out and drink like this ice cubes, make sure that ice cubes are being made on a proper hygienic way. Kindly avoid going in the sun from 12 to 6, because the problems because of the excessive heat is big. You get heat stroke, heat cramps, sun strokes, you get rashes, you get, because of dehydration you can faint. So I am very sorry to say I have seen even patients being brought dead to our hospitals because they just faint and they go in for massive attack. So very old people kindly don't go out at all. Young people, if you go out, you wear dresses like cotton dressings, you adjust your dressings according to the summer.
Well, those cooling tips will go down well with our politicians as well, who have an anxious wait ahead of them and gearing up for the counting of votes in the Assembly election. The Election Commission says the counting halls should be ready at least 3 days ahead of Friday, which is when the results will be out in Tamil Nadu. The EC also added that postal ballots would be taken up for counting first, and the EVM counting could start 30 minutes after the commencement of postal ballot counting. However, the penultimate round of EVM counting would not commence unless the postal ballot counting was over. The Chief Electoral Officer Praveen Kumar made these announcements at the all-party meeting he convened today to discuss about the various poll-related issues. Representatives of all the political parties, including the ruling DMK, the opposition AIADMK, the Congress, the BJP and the left parties, the NCP and PMK were present in the meeting that lasted just over an hour. Praveen Kumar spoke to our reporter Salim. Let's listen in.
We are now joined by CEO Praveen Kumar. Sir, tell us what was discussed in the meeting.
No, basically this meeting was a briefing meeting to tell the political parties regarding the counting arrangements being made. Any new instructions which have been communicated by Election Commission, that was also communicated to them. And just a request to tell the candidates about the arrangements so they are aware of what is the procedure to be followed in the counting hall, so that the counting is smooth and goes on in a easy manner without any problems, without any confusion. Basically this was that meeting for.
Sir, as far as election-related cases are concerned, some representatives of the political parties were saying that they are worried about the conviction rate.
No, conviction rate will come later. Now we are targeting more the charge sheeting, filing of charge sheet as the first step. Because many times what happens, the charge sheet is delayed and the conviction rate comes down because when the charge sheet is delayed. So now we are asking the SPs to try to file as many cases as possible by 12th. So that we are monitoring in a close manner. Almost 70% cases have been charge sheeted so far.
Is the Election Commission all set for the counting, sir, May 13th?
I mean, whatever has to be done till this point of time has been done, but a lot of things, the last month, a lot of 3-4 days are there, the arrangements are being done. So generally we are on line, whatever as per the program, what was to be in line, we are in line of that.
குறிப்பாக காலை 8 மணிக்கு வாக்கு எண்ணிக்கை தொடங்கப்பட்டு முதலாவதாக தபால் வாக்குகள் எண்ணப்படுகின்றது. அது எண்ண ஆரம்பித்த அரை மணி நேரத்திலேயே அது முடிந்தாலும் முடியாவிட்டாலும் மற்ற பெட்டிகளுடைய எண்ணிக்கை 14 டேபிள்களில் எண்ணுவது என்று முடிவு செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கிறது.
என்றுமில்லாத தேர்தல் காலங்களில் இவ்வளோ வழக்குகள் பதிவு பண்ணதில்லை. ஆனால் அந்த தடவை பார்த்திங்கன்னா 5000 வழக்குகள் மேலே பதிவு செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. தேர்தல் கமிஷன் ஏதோ திருமணம் மாப்பிள்ளை பார்க்குறது மாதிரி இருக்கக்கூடாது. அதுக்கு பிறகும் போடப்பட்டிருக்கிற வழக்குகளை பூராவும் அது உரிய நடவடிக்கை எடுக்கணும். பறிமுதல் செய்யப்பட்ட பணம் அநேகமாக கணக்கு வரவு உள்ளவர்களுக்கு அநேகமாக திரும்ப கொடுக்கணும். அவ்வளோலாம் நாங்கள் எங்கள் பார்ட்டியில் சொல்லியிருக்கிறோம். ஏன்னா யாரும் பாதிச்சிடக்கூடாது.
இப்போ எல்லாம் என்ன தீப்பெட்டி எடுத்துகிட்டு போகக்கூடாது, மற்றதெல்லாம் கைபேசியெல்லாம் எடுத்து போகக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் கால்குலேட்டர் வேணும், எண்ணிக்கிறதுக்கு வேணும்னு சொல்லி கேட்டிருக்கிறோம். அதை ஒத்துக்கிட்டாங்க. கால்குலேட்டர் எடுத்துக்கலாம், அனுமதிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
Instead, ahead of the bulletin, it's a family drama playing out in Kadapa. Jagan, his mother and his uncle are all batting for the seats. More details when we come back.